Hi, this is George Whittam reporting for Whittam's World. Once in a while I get to review a product on the show, and in this particular case I get to review a product on site because I'm at the Voice 2014 conference, and one of the sponsors of the conference and one of the vendors here is Vocal Booth to Go. And they've been coming for a couple of years. I've seen them. This is the first time I'll actually get to review one of the products here, so it's a cool opportunity. Right behind me is the VB66, which is a 6 by 6 foot portable vocal booth that can be assembled, disassembled, and used on site very, very rapidly and easily. So let's take a look at what this booth is comprised of, and let me take you to the inside of the booth, which really is the side that matters the most, so you can hear what it sounds like and how it's constructed from the inside. So come with me, will you? Booth. Let's take a look at the business end of the booth, the inside. And so you can see what the inside is like. Let's take a little walk around the interior so you can see. So here's the frame. It's got an aluminum frame, as you can see, that just snaps together with these little snap points here. And it's got a peaked roof instead of a flat roof, which is really cool. So it gives you a little bit more headroom, and it doesn't have that flat roof sound, and the damping material doesn't drape down on your head. You've got a fluorescent light, but it's totally silent. It's not making any noise or buzz of any kind, which they're very cognizant of, that they want to make sure it's quiet. Another unique feature is the skylight. So they actually have a panel on the roof with a window on it. So that helps make it feel a little less claustrophobic, because you have opening to the sky or to the ceiling, and if you have a large window next door or in the room, you'll get some natural light in from the outside. The opening can be zipped shut. Right now it's just Velcroed in place, which is probably fine for in most cases. So the window is really handy, not only for just to make you feel less claustrophobic, a little more natural light, but you could also put a computer, like your laptop, if you have a relatively noisy laptop, or if you have an iMac or something where the fans are built in, you can put them right outside on a table and look outside and see that you're rolling. Like, for example, I'm rolling right now on my own laptop, and if I get on mic, you can hear exactly what the booth sounds like. So I'm inside the VB66 booth right now. I'm recording on a Sennheiser 416 shotgun microphone into twisted wave using a Behringer, I think it's a 1204 mixer. So it's a very simple setup, so you can hear what it sounds like in a pretty typical home or personal studio situation, and you can get an idea what you might expect to hear if you were to have this set up in your home studio. So it's a great option for someone that wants something very easy to set up, that wants to take a large room and partition it off and make a smaller space in which to set up your studio. They do have ventilation available, so that if you want to be in this booth for long periods of time where it might get too warm because it's an enclosed space, you can actually add ventilation to the booth and to keep the air circulated. You can also add more layers of blankets to, if you need to add another layer of soundproofing, you can add more layers on the inside, or you can, of course, use blankets to cover up exterior windows to improve the isolating capabilities of the booth. So I'll walk out the booth again. You can see how we have a window enclosing, a window closed over with one of their other blankets. So this blanket on the wall is the VB72G, and this is their largest, it's what they call their oversized blanket. So that's one big blanket, as you can see, hung from ceiling all the way to floor. So if you've got a room that's got a lot of windows on it on one wall, this is a great way to deal with that wall. You can put up a curtain rod, you could do A-clamps, you could mount this varying different ways. This one right now is being held up with some S-clips that are hanging from the ceiling tile. But obviously, because it's got grommets all the way across, that makes it pretty easy to mount it to almost anything. Here's a picture of the hardware that you can get optionally. There's a kit that's a track kit, which is a really cool thing they have that almost nobody else has. I've never seen it elsewhere. And you can add a track to the ceiling or over a window or whatever, and you can attach this to the ceiling so that you can open and close the curtains or the drapes almost like hospital bed style, where you can pull them open and pull them shut around you. I've seen a couple situations where people have made even a circular track over their head and hung the curtain from it. I think they have the track downstairs in the main booth, so we'll go down a little bit and I'll take a look at that track so you guys can see what the track looks like. This is the actual track. So it's an interesting product because it's flexible. It can be bent into the shape that you need. It's totally moldable. So it's a really cool thing about this track. You can flex it without worrying about it being damaged, and you can just screw these clips on to either a ceiling or to a wall to conform to the shape that you need. So that's a unique product in itself. So even if you even already had stuff that you wanted to use, these guys sell these kind of problem solver parts. Here's a really unique thing, the hanging acoustic booth. They have a version that can be hung from a single point on the ceiling. So it just hangs down around you and can be raised up or moved out of the way very, very easily. So it requires a minimum amount of hardware and frames. It just has a frame at the top and it hangs down. So a very clever, another interesting way to mount and set up your booth. And there's an example of the acoustic vocal booth track system installed.
My name's Nicole Aliev. I represent Vocal Booth to Go, and I'm presenting to you our Gizmo, as I'm calling it. Basically, the Gizmo is a device that you can strap to your hand just to give yourself stability. It's all Velcro based. And the strap is at an angle which helps you because you also want to put your fingers through to give yourself extra stability so you can hold the mic. And it really helps, especially if you're recording outside, prevents noise from coming through, wind. You can do it, if you are giving a news piece, you can always have a logo on the outside here. You can also use it just for walking around to reduce some of the extra ambient noise. Very handy. We're looking for feedback on it. It's still, kind of in design. This is our latest model, just hot off the sewing press, as it is. And yeah, what was it? We call it the Voiceover Glove. I prefer the Gizmo.
Thank you. I'm on the floor here at the Voice 2012 conference inside one of the smaller versions of the booth. And I forgot to mention that there's a big problem, a lot of time with manufactured materials from overseas, that there is a problem with odor. But this product is very low on odor. It has a little bit of a dull odor, but it's not at all overpowering or caustic in any way. And it's really not bad at all. I've been around a lot of moving blankets and they tend to be pretty stinky. So good job on controlling the odor. I know you guys have made extra special effort to make sure that your booths are odor-free as possible, so good job. So those are the booths from vocalbooth2go.com, and the VB66 being right behind me. And I hope you enjoyed my little overview of this product. I think it's going to be a great product for someone that doesn't have a severe noise issue. If you're really fighting with bad noise problems, dogs barking and just constant, well, let's say, for example, if you live where I live in Santa Monica, and you have a Santa Monica airport with airplanes flying overhead all the time, you're probably going to have to go to another level of isolation. That's a very difficult issue to deal with and much more costly. But this solution is great for people that are in less noisy areas or quieter areas where they just want to deal with the acoustics of the room and damp it down so there's no or very little echo. And that's going to be most of you out there that are fortunate enough not to live in a noisy location like me or in a big city. So these products are going to work for a lot of folks like you. And if you're really somebody that doesn't feel like doing a lot of DIY, cobbling together bits and pieces, and you just want a turnkey solution that's easy to assemble and easy to use, this is probably going to be one of the best solutions for you that I've seen to date. So thanks for watching. This has been George Whittam for Whittam's World. If you'd like to know anything else about what I provide in services, you can go see me on the web at vostudiotech.com. And if you'd like to provide a question for a future episode, because that's what we do mostly around here, send in your question to whittamsworld@edgestudio.com, and I'll be glad to answer it on a future Whittam's World. This is George Whittam reporting for Whittam's World from Voice 2014 in Anaheim, and I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.